This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Greetings from the Philippines to the world. We are on Facebook Live on Eagle News and also on our streaming site, eaglenewslive.com. Watch us on our YouTube channel at Eagle News. I am Cesar Vallejos. Welcome to Open for Business. Join me to discover the latest news and information in business around the world. Stay ahead of the curve from vision to action. Eagle Broadcasting Corporation successfully conducted the EBC Forum on Blockchain and Cryptocurrency, and we are featuring the highlights of the forum in two parts. Business executives, policymakers, industry experts, and professionals and students attended the forum that discussed the current trends and developments of blockchain and digital currencies. Industry experts and our distinguished speakers shared how these emerging technologies disrupt businesses and discussed the investment, legal, operational, and regulatory issues from their experiences, insights, and real-world applications. Enjoy watching this.
Ten years ago, San Miguel Corporation took a giant leap. Not of faith, but of passion and purpose. As part of its growth strategy, a diversification program was set in motion. San Miguel senior management had big plans for the future. And when they said big, they meant big. They envisioned a better, more connected world and laid out the foundation to make this dream everyone's reality. Anchored on San Miguel Corporation's core value of malasakit and with strong guidance from their leaders, the SMC Infrastructure team embraced the challenge of the road ahead. After only a decade of service, SMC Infrastructure continues to dominate the country's infrastructure development sphere towards nation building. Just as how San Miguel envisioned it to be, our roads, railways, sea, and airports have become more than simply impressive structures and signs of progress. They are the Filipino people's partners in their journey towards productivity, success, and well-being. SMC Infrastructure manages and operates some of the country's major tollway systems today. The successful development of TPLEX or Tarlac-Pangasinan-La Union Expressway in 2009 became the cornerstone of SMC Infrastructure, a four-lane toll road that extends from Tarlac City to Rosario, La Union, with an additional approved extension of 56 kilometers all the way to San Juan, La Union. This is expected to reduce travel time to Baguio and other provinces in northern Luzon. From that project on, realizing the vision of creating a better world for Filipinos fueled the team's focus. Skyway Stages 1 and 2, the elevated toll road system project, run from a section of the South Luzon Expressway from Alabang to Magallanes, Makati. The Skyway Stage 3 is an elevated expressway connecting the South Luzon Expressway through the existing Skyway Stages 1 and 2 to the North Luzon Expressway via Balintawak. Skyway Stage 4 is an 80-kilometer mixed elevated and at-grade toll road that will connect the existing Skyway system starting from the FTI section all the way to Bulacan. An important component of the company's portfolio, the NAIA Expressway project is a 5.4-kilometer elevated expressway that connects the Skyway system to NAIA Airport terminals and the entertainment city. Star Tollway is a 41.9-kilometer highway that stretches out from Santo Tomas, Batangas, all the way to Batangas City. The South Luzon Expressway, a 36-kilometer long road that runs from Alabang to Santo Tomas, Batangas, connects several commercial and residential areas in the Greater Manila and the provinces of Laguna, Cavite, and Batangas. This will soon be extended all the way to the province of Quezon. The Skyway, NAIA X, Star, and South Luzon Expressways were developed to provide commuters and other motorists with more convenient routes to and from the north and south, and from the main cities to eastern provinces. Less time spent on the road meant more quality time with family and better work-life balance for hard-working Filipino students and professionals. Every kilometer of road laid was a testament to SMC Infrastructure's commitment, service, and integrity. To date, SMC Infrastructure remains at the forefront of Boracay Airport's modernization. The current and long-term developments include the construction of an international airport passenger terminal and the extension of the existing runway to better serve bigger aircrafts, providing tourists with world-class access to this slice of paradise. True to their vision, SMC Infrastructure is changing the way people move, transforming and uplifting the Filipinos' quality of life through infrastructure projects that build and grow a nation. SMC Infrastructure's ventures also include other projects aside from the toll road business. The Metro Rail Transit 7, or MRT-7, is a planned rail and road project from North Avenue, Quezon City to San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, with 14 stations, which can service 650,000 passengers daily. The Bulacan Bulk Water Project is a treatment facility that will provide bulk water to the 24 municipalities of Bulacan to meet the increasing water demand of its residents. Through concessionaire, SMC Infrastructure also initiated the significant improvements of the Manila North Harbor Port, the country's busiest port. And very soon, SMC Infrastructure will again break ground as they undertake another major project. The construction of the new Manila International Airport in Bulacan, Bulacan is expected to accommodate 100 million passengers annually and promises to be another significant contribution to progress in the Philippines. At San Miguel, we believe in doing the right things for the long term and for the greater good. Doing our share in ensuring that our people have access to quality infrastructure is how we live out our commitment to the country's welfare. SMC Infrastructure, building a better world.
On this note, the nature of blockchain appears to be consistent with our goals. We all know the following features of blockchain. It removes the middleman, and it protects the integrity of information, protects the integrity of the transaction through an information system based on consensus. It is also decentralized. It is immutable or tamper-proof, because transactions in a blockchain cannot be changed without changing or affecting the values or the data in the entire chain. Transactions are also transparent. Members of the network know the transactions that are happening. These features have the capability of enabling a transparent and efficient system, and those are not diametrically opposed to the goals of the DICT. As for regulatory efforts, well, our government already has efforts that they are envisioning and also implementing in our country. Most of the efforts, however, are primarily directed at cryptocurrencies as an investment, as well as, of course, cryptocurrency exchanges. Well, for example, we have the Bangko Sentral de Pilipinas. The BSP's approach is to allow the market to develop and subsequently study it and then to issue responsive regulations and advisories. So in 2014, March, the BSP issued a warning advisory on virtual currencies, informing the public that virtual currencies are somewhat unregulated digital money that is valued subjectively according to one's ability to exchange them for goods. So that leads us to the question, for all its beneficial uses, why should we regulate blockchain? Well, the duty of government is to protect and balance different interests. As while your government is pursuing transparency and efficiency, the nature of blockchain also raises such concerns as privacy. Blockchain transactions are not totally anonymous. They are only pseudo-anonymous. Identity can still be tracked using the address to which you link it. There is also the high likelihood of unethical use. Blockchain seeks to empower, right? But again, technology is neutral. How you use it, the manner by which you use it, and the intention of your use dictates whether it's for good or for evil. Blockchain has the promise, it has the potential. And judging by the attendance of everyone here, the people are interested in its use. And the idea is for us to actually harness the beneficial nature of blockchain. If there's any takeaway we can get from the SEC, the BSP, and the CESA example is, we embrace innovation. But as government, we have to look at it cautiously as well. Because if there is a need to regulate in order to protect the people, of course we will do that. But for now, as stated by the CESA administrator, we have sandboxes. And we have instruments we could use, facilities that we could use to actually innovate on it.
Oh, let's say I have a 1,000 peso bill and I want to turn it into a digital 1,000 peso bill. The problem with digital things is you can copy it so easily and you cannot distinguish the copy from the original thing. So if I have a digital 1,000 peso bill, I can make 1 million copies of that and make myself a billionaire. And then I can spend that across the internet instantly at the same time, so no one will know that I'm double spending that money. So what's our solution for that? We put a trusted third party in the middle of the transaction. And unless you've ever used Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, I can assure you that you've never made an online transaction that there was no third party involved to verify the transaction, to make sure there's no fraud, to prevent money laundering, prevent terrorism, protect your identity and funds. But the reality is the trusted third parties have become the central points of failure as well. So there's like a weakness in that. You have to trust that person, and history is full of breaches of that trust. So Bitcoin is not a company. A lot of people think Bitcoin has a CEO or, is owned by someone, but it's not. It's like the internet. It's just a technology that exists out there that anyone can use and anyone can tap into. It's not a product. It's actually, similar to email. Gmail is a product, Yahoo Mail, but SMTP, the underlying protocol that allows email to happen, is not a product. It's also open source software. So meaning the software is out there, anyone can review. Smartest people in the world can check it if there's any backdoor, if there's any malicious software in there. And similar to how we use Android and a lot of open source software in our technologies today. That's what Bitcoin is. And it's not an investment. This is a very common misunderstanding. People message me all the time saying, hey, you're involved in Bitcoin, right? How much is the minimum investment? It doesn't work like that. It's actually just a new form of money. And it exists in a decentralized network run by peers. So if you have a node or if you're running the Bitcoin software, meaning you have a record of all the transactions and you're syncing with all the people around the world doing the same thing. Now, a lot of people ask what gives Bitcoin value, what gives these cryptocurrencies any value. Network effects is very important. The more people it gets reached, the more people use it, the bigger it becomes, and it's like a positive feedback loop. The Lindy effect is actually states that if something lasts for a certain period of time, the likelihood of it lasting longer increases. So if something has been around for 10 years, you can kind of safely assume that it will be around for another 10. If it's been around for 20 years, then you can assume that it will be around for maybe another 30 or 40 years. So it becomes longer. And just to go back to my earlier slide, in 1998, people thought that the internet was just a fad. And that wasn't a long time ago. There's also the scarcity of Bitcoin. I didn't go into the details of it, but there's only 21 million Bitcoins. So it's very scarce, it's very limited. And that's why the more people want it, supply and demand, the price goes up. I won't go into the details as well. It's a lot of innovations happening. Just in Bitcoin alone, there's a lot of other blockchains and a lot of other technologies going on, but this is just Bitcoin, and these are just the layers, layer 2, layer 3, the different stacks, the different protocols that developers are building on top of the base layer of Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin historically has been going up for the last 10 years, and that's because the demand has been going up. So same thing with any commodity. If more people want it, the price goes up. And for Bitcoin to be used globally in commerce, it needs to actually have a very high value.
Open for Business is back, and we are very glad to have here the co-founder of SCI Ventures, Mr. Miguel Coneta. Thank you, Miguel, for coming over.
Thank you for having me.
What are the current challenges? You being one of the pioneers in this industry. In this case, now that we see the ICT, we see SEC coming in. So I'm sure there will be a lot of developments as there are rules now in the industry.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's next? What's the future in blockchain?
Well, like with any new technology, there's a lot of friction and a lot of resistance, like in my examples earlier. When it comes to Bitcoin especially, there's a lot of stigma attached to it because, when it was virtually unknown, people were using it for illegal things and, doing bad things.
Okay.
But like with any technology, once good actors take hold of that, technology is a tool. You can use a hammer to fix something or to destroy something, right? So what we do is, number one, first we try to educate as many people as we can, like similar to what I did earlier. We also, as an industry, 5 years ago, approached the BSP. And they were already on top of it. They already knew what Bitcoin was and blockchain technology. And as an industry, we got together and tried to establish guidelines for companies that want to engage in this kind of technology and in this kind of business.
How are you addressing this concern in terms of trust and security for this digital currency?
Well, like for example, the BSP has very strict guidelines and rules, on how financial institutions should protect their customers, privacy, identity, protect them from hacking. It's actually very stringent. You can't just apply for this license and get it overnight or something. There's a very long process. And hopefully, over time, as people use it, the trust will build in the companies that provide these kinds of services. Now, a person that is tech savvy enough, they don't even need to trust us. They can go directly and use, for example, Bitcoin as a way to transfer money around the world on their own. They don't need to ask permission from everyone. That's how it works, and that's the beauty of it.
So what are your tips to new entrepreneurs, even students, the small and medium enterprises, the startups who are watching? That's your camera, Miguel.
Yeah, well, so with any new technology, there's always a lot of fear and doubt. And, once you get over that, you educate yourself. You learn as much as you can. And in something like Bitcoin or blockchain technology, there's really a big blue ocean out there. There's so much to learn. There's so much to develop. And nobody has invented the web browser for cryptocurrency yet.
Yeah.
We're still in the early stages, and if you are a person that has that idea and you can crack that, you'll be the next Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos. And this is accessible to anyone in the world with just simple internet connection and, simple computer. Entrepreneurship, it's very difficult. It's very challenging. But, with the right motivation and the right team behind you, it should be an adventure, actually. I'd like to thank Eagle Broadcasting Corporation for inviting us, and we need more initiatives like this. We need more people to understand and not be afraid of new technologies like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. So thank you very much, and we hope to do more of this, and we'll be happy to come back.
Yes, definitely you will be coming back. That's the co-founder of SCI Ventures, Mr. Miguel Coneta.
Okay, so let's proceed with pattern basics. The reason kung bakit natin pinakita yun, because in trading or investing, meron tayong tinatawag na support and resistance lines. This is where the zone where the supply and demand triggers. And we are also going to discuss trend lines where by putting a simple line, you will also determine if the market is trending or not. So with identifying patterns, also with support and resistance line, meron tayong tinatawag na charting software. With charting software, there are grid lines on software na sometimes it makes your eyes delusional where your zones or area of supply and demand is. So, in this case, I'm going to ask you guys, sino nagsabi dito na this is a horizontal line? Taas ang kamay. Horizontal. Is this horizontal? Sorry, is this, no, is this horizontal? Guys, nakita niyo ba yung horizontal line dito? Is it horizontal? Yes or no? Okay. Sino nagsabing yes? Nagsabing no? Sino naghihintay lang? Okay. Okay. So, when it comes to charting software, guys, meron kasing grid dun, no? And that will make your eyes, it will make your eyes more, to put it simply, it will trick your eyes. Kumbaga, isipin mo na, okay, this is, ito yung price na gusto ko bilhan. But with this charting software, na meron siyang grid, it will trick your eyes. So, pag inalis natin yan, sa mga sumagot ng horizontal, yes, it is horizontal. So, that is why we want to give more emphasis on support and resistance line because once you are already in your trading software, ang titignan nyo lang guys dyan is yung green. Correct? Psychologically, it tells you, okay, buy. Tapos pag bumaba, buy. Ending, buy. Right? So, now, let's identify support. When it comes to identifying support, meron tayong tinatawag na na zone. And how do we define that zone is by putting a simple horizontal line that give a touches. Okay? What do you mean by touches? Ibig sabihin, pag naglagay ka ng line dito, dapat merong tatamaan ng mga candlestick. And how do we know if tama yung horizontal line na nilagay ko? By simply identifying there is a rally and retreat. May laser ba to? Or meron ba? Anyways, so here's what I'm trying to point at. So meron tayong price action dito, and as you can see, there is a rally and retreat. The price tries to go down. Okay, itong red na to. And what happened next is naging color green. Aba, magaling na, marunong na. Okay? So, bumagsak yung price dito, and what happened? Anong sunod nangyari? Nagkaroon ng color red, and then eventually nagkaroon siya ng color green. And it tries to go down, bumagsak ulit siya, and ano nangyari ulit? Okay, so that is how you define your support demand line. Okay? If the price tries to go down, and then nagbabound siya, umakit ulit siya, and once na nakita ka ng dalawang ganun, it means that is your support line. Okay? Clear? Okay, so here's the keyword or the term na kailangan nyo tandaan. It's rally and retreat. Every time the price tries to go down, okay, tatalbog ulit siya. There's a rally and retreat, rally and retreat. So how about the resistance? It's still the same concept. Pero ang pinagkaiba nito, okay, when we say resistance, it acts as your roof, okay? Because support and resistance level is like your roof and your floor. When it comes to floor, yan yung support mo. When it comes to your resistance, yan yung roof mo, okay? So with identifying trend and trend reversal, meron kasing dalawang uri ng tao sa market. We call it the trader and investor. For trader, okay, ito yung mga malilikot, okay, yung maliligalig. Most of the traders are young and aggressive and energetic. And investor, ito yung parang, they want to settle. They want less risk. They're slow. Pero, in the market, they have more funds. In this case, this is Bitcoin. Okay, yung price tries to go down, but eventually, since the green and red line agrees to each other and they are below the price, it pushes the price higher. And that is also true up to this point. And when we had this crossover, and the green line and the red line starts to agree that they have to stay above, it pushes the price below. In Tagalog, pag yung dalawang uri ng trader or investor personality in the market agreed that, okay, we want to sell. Okay, you will notice the price and your indicator will tell you that they are selling. So this is Ethereum Classic. That's also true with Ethereum Classic. So did it work? So this was my trade a couple of weeks. So if you're going to ask me, yung pinapakita mo sa amin ngayon, sir, pag ginawa ko yan, mag-work agad. Yes, it will work. Because, tandaan nyo guys, trading is simple. Okay? But it is not easy. It is simple, but it is not easy. That's why I always say, always advocate mastery. Because there are tons of strategy out there in the market na pwede mo makita sa YouTube. But again, you have to at least one bread and butter strategy to make it work. Okay, in my case, I've been trading for 5 years, kaya nagagawa ko to. So, if nakita kayo na isang strategy, make sure to marry that strategy. And from there, trade responsibly.
Open for Business is back, and joining me now is the CEO and founder of Minecraft Manila, Mr. Emmanuel Diparin. Thank you, Emmanuel,
Thank you.
or Eman, as they call you. You have a very exciting presentation. The first part was seen by the audience earlier, and you talked about investing and trading in the cryptocurrency market. Diyan maraming interesado. But at the same time, there's a lot of fears because there's a lot of investment opportunities now. Why will our viewers, go into the cryptocurrency market? How is investing in trading in that market? It becomes like an entirely different universe. Can you tell our viewers how to invest and trade in the cryptocurrency market?
Sure. First of all, I would like to say thanks for having me here in Net25. So when it comes to cryptocurrency market, just like what you've said earlier, it's a different space, no? It's a different universe. Because cryptocurrency market, that's why it's very enticing to other investor. Somehow, especially yung mga nag-stock market, natatakot sila. Kasi cryptocurrency market, guys, it is a 24/7 market. It means hindi siya nagsasarado. Okay? So, especially in Philippine stock market, we only have 4 trading hours per day.
Yes.
And those who want to become a full-time trader, okay, it is a huge struggle for them na mag-survive sa market. Kasi, again guys, di ba, kaya nga sabi nila sa mga Chinese, ang gusto ng Chinese, kahit maliit lang, basta yung money, pumapasok, basta yung market, 24/7. So, that philosophy, yun ang isip ko, that's why I traded with cryptocurrency market. But there is a risk. No? What is the risk? So, if you are working, definitely, hindi mo naman siyang mababantayan time to time. Okay? I suggest that you should have at least know when to read the chart, okay, how it works. And definitely, gaya ng sabi ni Ka-Efren kanina, is DYOR. Do your own research before putting your money on it. Kasi there's a lot of things that can happen anytime. So just like what happened netong nakaraan, imagine from 135%, this is what we call Matic. So sa mga hindi po nakakalam, Matic is it's like a stock, okay? But in this case, it is a currency. So people are looking to grow their money and invest in Matic, pero in just a matter of few hours, nagkaroon agad siya ng decline ng 70%.
Because? What was the factor?
Because of market sentiment. Okay?
I see.
That's why I'm telling you guys na if you are putting your money in cryptocurrency space, make sure that you already know what you are doing. Because I have seen a lot of people na naubos yung pera nila and they invested in Bitcoin, Ethereum, na ngayon is sad to say, naipit sila or yung investment nila is hindi nila mapakinabangan and there is no, hindi siya nag-appreciate.
So, Emmanuel, in terms of red flags, so ano yung dapat i-identify ng investor doon? So, like say, for example, okay, there are new technologies, there are new products.
Yes.
So, ano yung, as you mentioned, they have to know and to determine that kind of market sentiment. What are the red flags? Pag sinabi mo, pag nakita mo yon, na-feel mo yon, of you've gained this information. So, that would somehow warn you that, okay, I have to buy or sell, or what are those things that you should watch out for?
Yeah, good question. So, in fundamental perspective, meron kasing dalawang sagot dyan, no?
Okay.
It's a fundamental perspective and technical perspective.
Okay.
In fundamental perspective, dito natin tinitingnan yung, let's say, sentiment ng market on how they react. If I'm going to give you an idea kung umakit na ba or accelerating na ba yung price ni Bitcoin, okay? Hindi mo kailangan magbasa ng chart. Makikita mo yan sa number 1 indicator mo, which is social media.
Okay. Okay. And almost everyone is there.
Yes,
Okay.
almost everyone's talking about it, pero may risk yun. Kasi if everyone, gaya ng sabi ni Warren Buffett, if everyone starts to talk about it, definitely, possibly, huli ka na. So that is why pinapasok ko dito yung technical perspective, which is reading chart. Kasi from there, makikita mo din yung sinasabi mo kaninang red flag. Okay? So with you can use a particular, let's say, indicators. In my case, I'm using EMA, exponential moving average. So sa mga hindi po nakakalam, it is just a line, okay, that tells you that the market is trending.
In terms of numbers, like when do you think you will feel that you are earning or you have to get out of the market?
Siguro, ang masabi ko dito, if yung nilagay nyo, okay, kaya sinasabi natin, you should have your own trading plan. Yung nilagay nyo na investment or money, if nag-decline yun ng 10 to 15%, na in profit na siya, you should get out. And sabihin natin what if kung hindi pa siya kumikita? Okay? Sabihin natin, if nagkakaroon ka ng drawdowns, okay, kasi meron yung tinatawag na paper loss and realized loss. Paper loss yung talo ka pero hindi mo pa binebenta.
Okay.
Okay. So, pag realize na, ayun na na-realize mo na. Talo na pala talaga ako. Okay. So, kaya yun, ang kailangan natin gawin doon is make sure that you have your number in your mind. Sabihin natin, pag ito natalo ng 5%, I'm out.
Okay.
Okay. Again, pumapasok tayo dun sa risk management. So, in my case, total drawdown of my portfolio, I'm out pag siguro mga 10 to 15%. Okay?
And so far, what's the highest return that you have experienced?
For those, there's a vast opportunity in the market, no? You can earn up to, if done correctly, okay? If done correctly, pwede kayong mag-profit dito ng, sabihin natin, like 100 to 2,000. 20,000%.
20,000%. So aside from 24/7 and your 20,000% potential earnings, what are the key differences pa of cryptocurrency trading versus the traditional?
The technology itself. Okay. Aside from the fundamentals ng mga companies, no. Dito sa cryptocurrency, we are looking on how they are solving the problems.
Okay.
Okay, kasi for example, I know this person, I have this student na hindi niya alam kung paano magbasa ng charts.
Okay.
Okay? What he did is he only invest sa mga companies na who are really solving the problem, and at the same time meron case studies. But wait, there's more. Okay. Still doesn't guarantee na magiging kikita yung na yun. Kaya babalik pa rin tayo sa risk management. Kasi we all know, di ba, tao lang din sila. Okay? Kasi sabihin natin na they messed up on a particular area of their product that can cause turbulence dun sa investment sa mga nag-i-invest. And mabilis pa ang market So maraming salamat for inviting me and for having this event. Okay, and itong event nyo can help a lot of Filipino out there because there's also a lot of Bitcoin but not Bitcoin or cryptocurrency but not cryptocurrency. So maraming nadali and maraming nai-scam. So maganda yung ginagawa ng EBC because it helps us to spread out the word and educate yung mga Filipino na hindi maka-afford ng ganitong information. So maraming salamat and I hope makabalik tayo dito.
That's the CEO and founder of Minecraft Manila, who's also with OKCoin, Mr. Emmanuel Di Parin.
Laki, nipis taba, BMEG, bilis kita. Tinuloy-tuloy ko hanggang BMEG Premium Grower 1 and 2. May Lean Plus technology, kaya mas mabigat at manipis ang taba sa pagbenta. Kaya tuloy nyo na! BMEG, bilis kita!
For my next trip, hulaan mo nga tong friend ko. Chicken ako. Paborito mo ang TJ Chicken Dog. How did you know?
Walang dudang tender, juicy chicken sarap from the #1 hot dog for kids. Pure Foods Tender Juicy Chicken Dog.
Open for Business is running this episode on the EBC Forum on blockchain and cryptocurrency, and with me is the Chief Community Officer of Paylance, Mr. Emerson Fonseca. Emerson, thank you for coming to the show.
Sure, thank you for having us as well in your program and at the event.
I'd like to ask, because of course you're one of the influencers and advocates of blockchain technology here in the Philippines. What has changed? How is blockchain technology revolutionizing the way we do business?
Yeah, when we say blockchain revolution, it's more of how the technology itself transform the businesses and the people. Let's say the basic use case for cryptocurrency, per se is the Bitcoin. We can now transmit money from one end to another, from one place to another, anytime, anywhere, at any amount without any limitations. Because not even the government, not even the banks or any financial intermediaries can control the network. So they cannot freeze the Bitcoin wallets, they cannot freeze any transactions. So it's really a way for the people to do business, to remit money, and so on. So it's more flexible now to do transactions, financial transactions.
But based on some of the talks that I heard earlier, Emerson, there are still a lot of people who have this fear because, of course, a few, I think that was 97%, if I'm not mistaken, who don't have credit cards yet, and of course, a lot of Filipinos are unbanked. In this case, with the introduction of blockchain technology, how will the Philippine market take it? Of course, you're one of the early adapters of the technology.
Yes.
Paano magpipick up? How do you target or ensure that this fear, this issue on security, on the trust of Filipinos is addressed?
That's actually one of our achievements. Me as the hat of the Philippines, one of our way is actually to educate people that this is actually a technology, not just an investment tool, but basically a tool for the businesses to adopt and make grow of their any kind of industry. So we go to the universities and at least teach them what is blockchain, what is Bitcoin, what are the scams and everything. And so on, we were able to partner up with different schools for more than 20 universities, and we're able to roll out the blockchain elective course.
One of the applications you mentioned, Emerson, of course, is what we all know as fintech. So the remittances, sending of money to your relatives. But in your case, especially that you're educating now the public, and you started with this partnership with the universities. What do you think would be the timeline as to when this will pick up? Because in this case, as early as now, you're still educating a lot of people are still looking at the technology, and once they've learned that this is a new digital currency and this is safer, more secure, when do you think will this pick up in the Philippines?
Of course, also looking forward, because it's really the millennials or the younger generation who will be the users for these cryptocurrencies, right? So let's say for a technology to work out is actually more of adoption. And Philippines is a country that is very open to this technology. We have the SECs ruling out, setting out regulations and policies.
Tsaka sabi nga nila, tayong nauna, it's the Philippines who got into, one of the first countries who introduced and is adopting this.
That's very true. So I really hope that in the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be bigger for the mass adoption, or for at least the acceptance of this technology here.
Now with Paylance, Emerson, which sector or industry are you focusing at? Because of course we see a lot of applications from pharmaceuticals to banking, legal, and of course you said earlier mentioned about government, so everything will be digitalized. In your case, being there, advocating it, teaching the students in universities, in what sector do you think this will greatly impact here in the Philippines?
Basically financial sector, because for Paylance we're targeting businesses. Of course we have the individual accounts, but we are also targeting the NGOs, the charity, because it's a medium for them to send money in, which is very transparent, especially for donations and charity. For OFWs, for cooperatives, So it's really more of organization target for Paylance. But we have the Orbit. Orbit is actually an offline because there are still people who are not really inclined doing or not really confident doing online transactions. So Orbit.ph comes in wherein it's an aggregated platform. So we allow VCEs or virtual currency exchanges to join the app, and then the money service businesses like the money exchangers to complete the whole ecosystem. And then these people can go physically to these shops and buy cryptocurrencies at their own convenience.
I see. So it's an offline mechanism.
Yes,
so even if you fear doing it online, that is there is an offline.
Yes, that's
right.
Orbit.ph because Paylance is more of an online. So we offer this Orbit.ph. I know that this is a healthy competition with other businesses we have on the same industry, but
That's
actually
right.
it's giving an option to the people and growing the ecosystem for them.
As a technopreneur who is young, who is an advocate of blockchain technology and one of the key influencers, what are your tips to budding entrepreneurs also who want to engage, make money, make profit, create a difference, and also sa mga maliliit na negosyo who want to establish their own businesses, because definitely they also would want to engage with this. What's your advice to upcoming entrepreneurs, especially technopreneurs?
Yeah. My always advice is everything starts with zero. So education is really the key. I really didn't know about cryptocurrency and blockchain ever since, but then again, you really have to equip yourself with a lot of knowledge. We believe that knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is more powerful. So really have to educate yourself and equip a lot of information, then do the business. So you will be learning a lot about the cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology, how it will be disruptful, and of course, we have to avoid all the misconceptions on these digital currencies or cryptocurrencies.
That's the Chief Community Officer of Paylance, Mr. Emerson Fonseca.
So I'd like to introduce centralized versus blockchain. So you guys have heard a lot of explanation about the blockchain technology. But everything starts on a centralized system. Yes, until now we have it. So we have the clients, applications, all transactions happen through the server, and then all recorded on a database. Let's say for Eagle Broadcasting, you have a database. All of the records of your shows, your salaries, and everything is on that database. Now with the rise of the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin blockchain, it introduced us the decentralized technology or the distributed ledger technology, which is blockchain. Yes, it is not efficient for now, but it is very secure. In a way that it has different security layers like the hashing, the distributed ledger of records, and everything. So right now, there's no way to attack the blockchain technology. So why do we need blockchain? For three aspects, cryptography. Narinig nyo naman yan kanina. Cryptography has been used way back World War to encrypt, decrypt messages, right? For encryption, it composes different algorithms just to send a single message, right? And it provides security. The decentralization or decentralized systems, it provides trust. Sabi nga ni Miguel Cuneta, technology is a trustless platform, but it is true. We don't need to trust a single central authority or any governance. Open ledger, because Bitcoin is a public blockchain, or most of the blockchains are public, we have the private. But it opens a lot of access to new markets. SMEs, MSMEs, these sari-sari stores can now make use of Paylance for their businesses to transact payments, right? They don't have to pay any technology solution provider just to adopt technology, because we have the blockchain that they can adapt right away on their hands. So I'd like to show you a comparison for fiat and a cryptocurrency, okay? So fiat currency, of course, is a legal tender. We have the coin, we have the paper monies, right? There are certain rules for those physical or electronic, like the coins, paper monies, and debit card, and so on. It's inflationary. Over time, it loses its value, and not really transparent. We don't know how many pieces of 1,000 peso bill are revolving within the Philippines? We don't know. Versus a cryptocurrency, of course, this is not a legal tender because it's just created by computers. It's not backed by any central government. It's all digital in form. Deflationary, why? The supply is fixed. It's always defined. It's set to maximum. Let's say for Bitcoin, it's just 21 million Bitcoins up until year 2140. And it's transparent. You can see all the transactions happen from the very first up to this current. So what is Paylance? Everything you need to manage your funds. For employee, for payrolls, you can transact. I can send you peso from my wallet to your wallet without any fees as long as you're a Paylance user. Bitcoin to Bitcoin, still no fees. Only the network fees on the Bitcoin network. Okay? And it's very seamless globally. If you have any relatives outside, if there's a business outside that do have employees here in the Philippines, they can send money through cryptocurrencies, and Paylance will facilitate those transactions and help them to push through. So here's a model for business and individuals. So they can easily send and receive funds almost instantly to each other at any time, anywhere. Again, zero transaction fees as long as you're a Paylance user. Next. For non-Paylance user and Paylance user, if you're gonna send cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and USDT, yeah, you can do so. I believe that Paylance is the only local exchange here, or local exchange platform that do have the USDT. USDT is a stable coin that is pegged to US dollar. It's 1:1. And this is a stable coin because given that the Bitcoin is very volatile, I'm gonna receive my Bitcoin amounting right now to 1 million, and after a minute it went back to 100, went down to 700,000. So stable coins are low risk cryptocurrencies, okay? So of course we have the USDT. These are only the supported currencies: Philippine peso, USDT, and the Bitcoin. So we have 3 wallets. Here's the platform. We have the mobile and web. For business accounts, you can add your employees, consultants, suppliers, depending on your needs. And every business can earn commission from their employees. Every transaction, they can get a rebate, they can get a commission for using this platform. And here are the 4 commission levels: Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4. These are only for businesses accounts. If you have a business, let me know later, we can talk how you could make use of the platform. So commissions are automatically paid out right after the transaction. This is very useful for the co-ops, for charities, for NGOs. Those are our targets. We can help them. We can help you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you to Eagle Broadcasting Corp.
So why are cryptocurrencies so volatile? Why is it so volatile that a lot of people made money, but still a lot of people are losing money? Are cryptocurrencies investment vehicles? No, that is the question. A lot of the earlier speakers have defined what blockchain and cryptocurrency is. No? We will not endeavor to define it here now, but are cryptocurrencies investment vehicles? No? Now, to give us a glimpse and insight on the answer to this question, we have created this framework. No? This framework is the framework, what I call the where to put your money framework. Now, according to this framework, an investor gaining or losing depends on 2 factors. One is knowledge, and one is risk appetite and tolerance. We can graph this as an X and Y axis. Right? So knowledge can be low or even 0 and can be high. And the risk appetite and tolerance can be low and can be high. And we divide this framework into 4 quadrants. So the edge, the line near the knowledge axis, is the edge of certainty. Because with knowledge, there is certainty in what we do. The other opposite edge is the edge of uncertainty, high risk. Now at the bottom of the line is the edge of ignorance, 0 knowledge. At the top is the edge of expertise.
Now, if we look at the risk appetite and tolerance variable, the edge of ignorance, no, so your risk appetite as an investor or a person who wants to earn money from any undertaking can be low or high. For example, time deposit and savings, those are low risk investment instruments. Real estate, bonds, insurance, stocks are moving into the high risk. Jewelry, commodities, new business. Starting a new business is a risky venture. Gold, and then Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is the riskiest investment we place here because it is the most volatile in all of these investment vehicles. Tech startup, when you want to start a new company, it is highly risky. The rate of failure is 99 is to 100. That is how tech startups are failing. Now, if we look at the access, the knowledge access, you look at investment bankers as the highest knowledgeable people in investment, followed by financial advisors, stockbrokers, businessmen, entrepreneurs, professionals, students, and the man on the street. The lowest knowledge you have as an investor. We go back to this 4-quadrant framework. So this type of investor is what we call uninformed or misinformed investment because of low knowledge and low risk appetite. Now, this is the informed investor with high knowledge but low to medium risk appetite. This is the speculator, speculation. So these are knowledgeable people putting their money into volatile instruments, but they have high risk tolerance. And lastly, low knowledge or zero knowledge with high risk appetite and tolerance is what we call the gamblers. These are the 4 types. Where are you here?
Open for Business is back, and with me is the President and CEO of Hungry Workhorse Consulting, Mr. Ray Lugdu. Thank you, Ray, for
Thank you for having me again. No, thank you. No.
Okay, maraming salamat po. There's the reason why we wanted to really focus on blockchain and cryptocurrency is that, and there's a lot of inquiries already in the community. So what are the advantages, the pros and cons of going into it? We will be listening to your talk later on. But in a gist, how do you describe the blockchain and cryptocurrency in the Philippines?
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. So I've seen the development in the last years. So and the growth in Philippines peaked the same way globally. Peaked. So in 2017 it peaked and then lost steam starting 2018. So during my talk, I asked the audience, is it really an investment vehicle?
But before you go on, what's the reason of that, the deceleration? You said 2017 it peaked and then it went down in 2018.
Well, typical of any volatile instrument. So speculators felt something is going on. Then it became a bandwagon. A lot of people sold, and it's a typical volatile instrument that we see.
But it went back.
It went back, yes. It went back now. So that's the reason why it's volatile. So and it's probably the most volatile instrument now in the quote unquote investment community.
Okay, and we answered your question. Is it really an investment tool?
I did not answer that directly, but I gave a framework. And this framework will guide investors or people wanting to put their money into any endeavor. So I divided the framework has 2 axes. One is knowledge. The y-axis, you can have low knowledge, zero knowledge, or high knowledge. The x-axis is the risk tolerance or risk appetite. You can have low or high.
With all this information, with all this knowledge coming in, and with all the participant, the ecosystem being completed, we have the regulators, we have the DICT, we have the SEC, giving us the rules. But there are, of course, a lot of items and activities that has to be done and that has to be issued. What's your outlook? Where is this going?
Yeah, we have to graduate. No? The Filipino investors, I still use quote unquote, should graduate from gambling to speculating. No? So speculation entails high level of knowledge of the things you're getting into. No? So people have to study what it is. No? Use some software. No? To help you, use expert advice to help you. But mind you, it's still high risk. Again, it depends on the person, if you're high risk appetite. So Filipinos should graduate from a mere gambler to a speculator.
So you think that this will entirely, change the way we work, live, or even play?
Yes, definitely. The way we are progressing as a country, the way we adopt virtual currency, it's really astounding. The growth is in millions already. So 10, 12 million, probably 15 million now are using virtual currency to pay for a KFC, or buying in a restaurant, or groceries, or paying your bills. So it is being used now. The concept is there. The concept is there already. So give it more time. Driven by the younger generation, and couple that with the progress of the economy. I think we will be a major player in the virtual currency space. Well, congratulations to EBC, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. This is a timely forum that you organized. So this is giving clarity and education, and ultimately knowledge to consumers that they require this kind of knowledge. So again, kudos, Cesar, and congratulations.
That's the President and CEO of Hungry Workhorse Consulting, Mr. Ray Luke. Open for Business is back, and we have a very exciting topic this afternoon. It's careers in blockchain, equipping the workforce of the future. And with me is the Director of Emphasis Consulting Services, Ms. Leah Cullen Butler. Thank you very much for coming to the show.
Thanks
Leah.
for having me.
What do we expect in terms of the workforce in the future? How do you see? I know that you will be talking later this afternoon. So how do you describe the workforce of the future?
Well, you're right. I think you hit the nail on the head. There is a lot of fear out there. People are really worried that they might lose their job to technology. But I think with loss of jobs, there is also creation of jobs. As we've seen in previous revolutions, we're actually currently entering the fourth industrial revolution, where STEM skills are going to be very, very important in future jobs. And STEM is an acronym. It stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Maths. And in the future, about 75% of all jobs will be underpinned by STEM skills. So it's really, really critical that we start to look today at, say, students in school. Are we building STEM capability in our students to equip them for the jobs of the future? And I'm not sure if you would have seen it, but there was actually a recent OECD report which surveyed students across, they're all 15-year-old students across 79 countries. And what they do is an exam, and they test things like reading and comprehension and maths and science skills. And what it found was the Philippines actually performed quite poorly. So out of the 79 countries, they were actually lowest in reading and comprehension and second lowest in maths and science. So that's obviously a problem, but I see it as an opportunity as well. If we start to invest now, because we know that these skills are going to be so important in the future, we can actually change the trajectory for the Philippines, make sure our young people are equipped for the jobs that are going to be in demand, both locally and globally.
We also learned some of the skill sets that are really focused on now are in the areas of cognitive thinking, cognitive learning, and creative thinking. Is this, some sort of another dimension where STEM skills should be combined with the soft skills?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Those 21st century skills, as they're often called, we need to combine those with STEM skills because, look, honestly, a degree in engineering is not going to necessarily give you social skills, you know, the ability to communicate, persuade people, present your ideas and opinion, which is absolutely critical in the business world. And, you know, often we don't learn these things directly in at university or school. So just to come back to that, it's things like being creative, communicating, as I mentioned, building relationships, all of these other skills that combine with the STEM skills to make real leaders. And I think what a lot of people are experimenting with is the idea that perhaps entrepreneurship pathways can help young people build these skills. So there's some really incredible initiatives happening here in the Philippines. I saw the Department of Science and Technology has an amazing incubation program, which is providing both funding but also access to networks, to mentorship for young entrepreneurs who are launching incredible products. And I think what is really cool about those young people starting their own businesses is that they look to solve their own problems. So they look at the world around them and they think, wow, you know, I've seen that perhaps people in my family don't have access to the financial system because they don't have a bank account. Or, you know, maybe my grandma doesn't have the right ID documents, so it's very difficult for her to interact with, say, the government online. And they look to find solutions to problems that are in their own world. And I think that's what's really exciting because they're the kind of solutions that the world really needs.
I don't want to dig more because we will be listening to the talk later of the Director of Pharsis Consulting Services, Ms. Leah Calon-Butler.
In doing this, I'd really like to ask you, when you go away from this, think about what you want the future of the Philippines to look like. Because the initiatives that we bring to industry today and to education today will ultimately decide what the future looks like in 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years' time. Now, diversity is really, really key for this. And to me, this is why I chose to stay in the Philippines, because I'm more excited about the kind of innovation that could happen here in a developing economy than in Australia. Sorry, Australia. Not sorry. So diversity is important because we need underrepresented and underserved communities to come to the table and develop solutions to their own problems. Now, what we're seeing, particularly in the Philippines, is someone who comes from the provinces, they might see that people in their family, they don't have a bank account. So they can't participate in the digital economy online, or perhaps they don't have the right ID documents. Now, the people who are coming up with amazing solutions to these problems, they're actually developing products that are more robust and more meaningful to more people across the world. That's why we're here talking about blockchain today. It's a technology that doesn't necessarily have to be controlled or ruled by the usual intermediaries, banks and governments. That's exciting because it can be a more inclusive technology that can include people in the system who have previously been excluded by the incumbent systems. That's really exciting because someone who really knows what it feels like to be excluded from the incumbent financial system, they can learn blockchain technology and deliver solutions that will actually allow more people to be included in the mainstream system. It's not just developing economies, it's also any kind of marginalised community. So, for example, women. Traditionally, tech, the entire sector, has been underrepresented when it comes to women. Again, the reason that's important is because women have a unique perspective. And what we want to do is make sure that we have men and women, rich and poor, young and old, all types of people at the table to be able to bring a kaleidoscope of perspectives so we can actually build far better products that will be meaningful to more people. Now, I just want to introduce one very quick thing, the idea of youth entrepreneurship. So I mentioned before that we need to get creative about what we're thinking as how we're going to build STEM skills, how we're going to build the workforce of the future and what we can do in the education system. But it's not just, let's be honest, does anybody sit there and think, oh, you know, I remember when I did that exam at school and it was just riveting, you know, it was just the greatest experience I ever had. Pfft, said no one ever. It's more about these days, we actually want kids to be able to get out there and have real experiences. Now, youth entrepreneurship is critical because it starts to develop those skills that go on top of STEM skills to create leaders. STEM skills create employable people in the future to meet the demands of the jobs of the future. 21st century skills, or they're sometimes called enterprise skills, sometimes soft skills, that's what maketh a leader. When I say 21st century skills, I mean things like adaptability. The space of technology is moving so quickly, you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You need to be able to change and adapt super quickly. You need to be resilient. You need to be able to learn fast.
Ang pressure sa akin, laging nadadagdagan. Kahit off-court, no escape. Buti may dagdag suporta ni Mama at Papa at ng Star Margarine. Bawat kutsara may kid power nutrients. Tumutulong magpatangkad, lakas, at sigla. Dagdag sustansya rap. Mas abot mo ang pangarap with Star Margarine.
In our term of the week, you take a refresher of business terms to make you updated, more informed, and ready to make smarter business decisions. Our term of the week is node. A blockchain exists out of blocks of data. These blocks of data are stored on nodes. Compare it to small servers. Nodes can be any kind of device, mostly computers, laptops, or even bigger servers. Nodes form the infrastructure of a blockchain. All nodes on a blockchain are connected to each other and they constantly exchange the latest blockchain data with each other, so all nodes stay up to date. They store, spread, and preserve the blockchain data, so theoretically a blockchain exists on nodes. A full node is basically a device like a computer that contains a full copy of the transaction history of the blockchain. And our word of the week is from Abigail Johnson. She said, "Blockchain technology isn't just a more efficient way to settle securities. It will fundamentally change market structures and maybe even the architecture of the internet itself." Thank you for watching Open for Business. Join us again in the next episodes of Open for Business for more insights from CEOs, thought leaders, and industry experts promoting business development in the Philippines. See you again every Saturday and Sunday here in Open for Business, where we discuss business information, deliver the latest business news to keep you informed and open for business, and be ahead of the curve from vision to action. You're on Facebook Live on Eagle News, and you can watch this again in the video section of the Eagle News Facebook page and on eaglenewslive.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Eagle News. For Open for Business, this is Cesar Vallejos. Have a great day.